So here it is, Can't Keep Still. Take a listen.
I'm stepping up for a move. I need a little shot, a little something with some groove. Ray Charles gonna give me some. A little retro never hurt anyone. Can't stop jamming. Shaking like a VIP. I hit the hot spot, now I'm getting lost in the stream. With Lenny Kravitz on the playlist. You know you're always on the guest list. Can't stop jamming. Bring a little rhythm to me. You know I can't keep still. Can't stop jamming. You can't step on me when I'm shaking like a VIP. You can't step on me when I'm feeling like JB. Oh, you can't step on me when I'm singing like TNT. You can't step on me, you can't step on me, you can't step on me. Moving like it can be seen. Oh, like a hot shot. Now
I Can't Keep Still either. Everybody, that was Can't Keep Still, the latest single by award-winning singer-songwriter Dino Jag. And he's joining us today on our Big Blend Radio Celebrate the Arts and Music Festival. And he's all the way in Adelaide, Australia. Keep up with him at dinojag.com. Dino, how are you?
Good morning. I'm all coffeeed up. So if I talk a little bit fast
coffeed
and
up?
more, you know what's going on. I'm all coffeed up.
He's coffeed up. I think that's always what happens when you come on our show. You're coffeed up and we're wind up. So,
yeah.
You know. But somehow we meet in the middle.
I've just had my bulletproof coffee.
Listen, at some point we'll get the time thing. This half hour, like there's time zones where 5 hours, 3 hours. What is this extra half hour between America and Adelaide?
It's strange. In Australia, you know, we have, you know, the half-hour differences with some of the states, so that I think sometimes throws the time conversions out a little bit.
Well, listen,
you think?
all I know is that it's awesome to have you back on the show, and Can't Keep Still is fantastic. I love that we were just doing this whole thing about literary publicity, music marketing on social media, and I think you take the cake on how to do it because it's about connection. It's authentic connection, integrity with your fans, and you involved them in this video. And so you really just released this all on video, right, through Facebook.
Exactly. Yeah, I was really enjoying, by the way, that conversation that you were having with Chip. Just coincidentally, before I answer your question, is Chip from Los Angeles?
Yes, yes.
The reason I ask is because when I was in Los Angeles recording my EP, I was staying in a B&B place in Hollywood.
Cool.
And the guy that owned the place that I was staying at, he said to me that the guy that lives in front of us, like in the same kind of block, he said that guy used to manage Heart.
Yeah. Oh
Or
no.
something.
But yeah, he Chip has now moved to Palm Desert, but he was in L.A. But it was in the
Right.
same time when you were, because you were, didn't you? What was the record? It totally escapes my mind
That
because
was
I
in
know the guy.
2016.
Yeah. Now I know the guy. Son, what's the what was this place called again?
Breakthrough?
No, the EP. I know your EP Breakthrough, but where you were recording, you were in like a legendary
Sunset Sound.
Sunset Sound. So
That was it.
Dave Kersner was on our show earlier this year, end of last year, earlier
Right.
this year, and he's the one who went in just this year and redid their stuff, all their recording, all their amps, everything. He's pretty cool in what he does. He's on the prog rock scene. He's got a lot going on. So check out Dave Kersner when you get a chance. But yeah, because I remember when I interviewed him, thinking about you, going, "Hey, Dino was just there." You know what I mean? It's like every time we do a show, there's always a connection somewhere. But yeah, Chip was there, and he toured with Heart over the years. He's done, I mean, like you could hear Jules Fan Club, and he's done an amazing
artist,
amount. Yeah, but your
Yeah.
fans getting involved. I mean, here we are. Nancy and I travel full time, and we've in between our conversations. I think our last time we were back home in Tucson for a break, and now we're back on the road. And now we just happened to come into Tampa, Florida. Here you are with a video with your fans, and one of them is from Florida.
Well, actually, I found out after I put that there's actually two of the girls in the music video are from Florida, which is crazy, and it's so awesome. It's interesting, the conversation that you were just having about social media, and normally when you release a song like this, it's all guns blazing on with all the kind of mainstream traditional, radio stations, and the whole kind of swag as it's been happening. But since the lockdown and kind of everything changing, for me personally, my focus, like many artists, have gone just straight back into our little caves, creating music, and just finding that sharing the conversation with people that we're connected to, that have been following us and following and supporting our music. And for me, I started creating videos from home and started doing my own performances of a few of my own songs that I've never shared with anyone before. And, I just, when it came to recording Can't Keep Still, I just really had that kind of light bulb moment of reflecting on the key thing that really stood out for me, what I missed the most about performing live, and that was seeing people's faces in the crowd, and feeling their energy. And that's the drug for us as performers. That's our fuel. And so, being able to see their faces in one of my songs, in the music video, just it's the most joyful experience I've ever had releasing a song. And it really helped the recording process because I knew that they were going to be in the video. So with all of us, as we were recording the song, we knew that we were going to have people sharing the experience with us, and it really helped capture the energy of this song.
I love it because it was like dance like no one's watching, right? And I think that is one of those things in life that we all have to, like Nancy was commenting, she's like, that girl's in her towel, the towel on her head, like she's out of the shower. And I'm like, that's so cool. And there's like their dog with the glasses and everything. And I think that's part of what life is. And when you're in COVID, be real. And I think it is about being real. That's why I think about, you're one of the artists that we always talk about with integrity. And I think it's interesting, too, to talk about connections. the first time you came on the show was with Calling All the Saints, and
Yes.
today is still one of those songs that I play once in a while, to just that there's a purity and integrity. Like you and
Yeah.
there's like certain musicians that come on our show that I just go like, these are the integrity people, and you're in that little circle of people that really do the right thing. And I know it's hard, I know how hard it is, but you do it. And Calling All the Saints, I love that. It was a video. That's how it all started, right? That was a video again. So think about that with the
Yes.
visuals of the earthquake in Haiti. So here we are again. And I remember not being able to play your music on this show because I couldn't change the format or whatever hell was going on that day. It was your first time on our show. The next time I screwed up the
Right.
time, but you're here now.
Yeah,
Forget
and
it.
it's so awesome to be back. I'm so excited to be back, and I'm so happy that you guys have just aired the song in the States for the very first time. Someone there on
wow.
the ground who's
Cool.
actually played that
We're
song
honored.
in the States, and I'm so happy that it's you guys that have done that, because you've been awesome supporters of mine.
Oh, we
Cool.
love your music. But now, don't you
Yeah.
think that's interesting going from Calling All the Saints to this? Like, look at the difference, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you wanted the visuals attached.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the story with Calling All the Saints. It was just, it's all about there are things that happen in our lives that we have no understanding why and when and how they happen, but you just kind of you just do what you do, and somehow things align. And with Calling All the Saints, as you know, when I was writing that song, I just finished writing it. It was about 3 or 4 in the morning, and just went downstairs, made myself a coffee, and put the TV on to see, scanning through the stations while I was getting my coffee on. And then the news broke out about Haiti, and I just finished demoing my song, Calling All the Saints. And I always had that feeling it was destined for something. And then I thought, that's it, this song is for them. And then I contacted the Red Cross in America, the American Red Cross, and got permission to use their images for the video. And that's how that song came about. With Can't Keep Still, we're in a completely different world now.
Right.
With a with a whole different kind of situation. And the first song I actually wrote during my isolation was a song, and I should share that with you at some point, a song called All in This Together. And the timing felt right, and it was that time when the reality started kicking in that this is actually really real. It's not just happening in our backyard; it's happening in everybody's backyard. And we've kind of gone through that phase of waking up each day thinking, is this still really happening? Yes, it is. It's real, and just dealing with everyone's world's changing. For me, I lost every single show that I had for the rest of the year. I just started kicking into these group singing sessions that I was coaching, and I was loving, that whole group dynamic of working with other singers, and all of that had to kind of stop, and it's like, okay, here we are. But then with Can't Keep Still, I think now we're at that point where it's like, it's time to move. It's time to get up, and I think we've all kind of come out. We're all coming out of that coma of, there's some new stuff to get to focus on. We're all creating new worlds for ourselves, and we're all finding new ways to appreciate the stuff we took for granted in the past, and we're really cherishing the things that we truly love. And for me as an artist, what I absolutely cherish, the people that support me, because without them, really, there's nothing,
Right.
So
right. And,
they.
I think it's important what you've done because number one, it's just a badass song, right? It makes you can't keep still. We're all we're like little worms. We want out, right? And bringing everybody into place like that and putting in the video, it's like, yeah, we can be kooky, we can be fun, we can wear whatever we want. We can be who we are, and I think that's that's why I said like dance like no one's watching, but they are. They're all seeing you now,
Yes.
fans out there, Jagsters. But to me, I just
Yeah.
think that it's really cool because Nancy, you always said the world will come together once the aliens really strike us, and I feel like
Yeah.
COVID kind of did it. But we have a lot of
Mhm.
unity, yet we still have a lot of division in our world, and especially in this country right now. Um, and I feel like music and things like what you're doing will help us to remember and realize that we are all connected. Just even our conversation right now just shows how many ways we're
Yeah.
connected on levels we don't even know
Yeah.
until we communicate, right? And music is that. It's
Yes.
universal.
Yeah. And speaking of connection, I want to make sure I say a big hello to Elise Van Sy and Margie Ungo, who are from Florida and who feature in the music video, which is
Cool.
really awesome. And I don't know, their spots in the video were done in some pretty cool places outdoors. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you can't see it all because we had to edit things down, so you can just kind of see a section of the footage. But maybe when people watch it, anyone that's in the area around Florida might recognise the locations of where they shot their little bits of footage.
Are they the ones with the
yeah.
trees, like the oak tree kind of,
And
then
green,
the grass,
very
and like the
green,
hills?
green.
Yeah,
Very
it kind of looks
green.
Yes.
hilly. Whereas, like, you wouldn't think that's
Mhm.
Florida because Florida's kind of flat compared to like it looks more like California than Florida in a way. But where we are here in
Right.
Tampa, and I don't know where they are, man, these trees are huge and massive and old, ancient, beautiful, sentinel beings that we're just, we're used to being out in the desert, actually, in the West, the Wild West area. And so we're kind of going, even though we used to live in Florida many years ago, Nancy and I are like, man,
Whoa.
it's so green here. We're just
Yeah.
beside ourselves.
Yeah.
What's it like in
There is.
Adelaide? Like, what's your
Oh,
scenery like?
everything's really green here because we're in the middle of our winter, and there's been a
Oh.
healthy abundance of rain, and it's actually not too bad lately in terms of we're getting some sneaky sun coming through during the day, so it's quite good at the moment. So I suppose if you had to choose a time to be locked down, and stay home, winter's most probably a good time for that. So take advantage of it. Yeah.
Does rain produce creativity for you? Does that instigate, like, just even the rhythm of rain? Does that do anything for you?
I love the sound of rain. When you're inside, there's something. Yeah, it's something. It's like the sound of the ocean. It's something kind of natural and feel good about it. I think home isolation is, isolation for me in general is probably not that I'm antisocial. I love being with people, but I also love, being in my own space and having that opportunity to just unwind and let other stuff come to you, from beyond yourself.
So what's next for you now? I mean, you've done a couple songs in isolation, right, and maybe more.
Yes.
But where do you think what's the rest of the year look like for you? I mean, I feel so bad for musicians. I really do, and even us as travelers, we keep getting turned around. We have a plan, and they're like, no, you can't come here. We're really rampant. You can't come here. It's like, okay, where do we go? We've traveled full time. It's like a weird world.
Yeah.
So what's it like now do you think, can you even plan in the future?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm in the twilight zone at the moment still in regards to live performances. I just had my only show that I had left for the year was actually cancelled this morning. And that was most probably one of the premier gigs in Australia for live performers. It was actually on a cruise ship, leaving from This one was leaving from Brisbane and going out to the Pacific Islands for 10 days and a music festival. And with just a ton of artists, and it's such a great time. I've done it for the last few years, once a year, and I've met a lot of I've made a lot of wonderful friends, and it's just a great gig. And that's just being cancelled. I mean,
is that the Cruise and Groove? Is that the Cruise and Groove?
Yes. Well, this one's called Rock. This one was called Rock the Boat.
Okay.
Susie Quattro was actually one of the artists that was going to be performing on there as well. Yeah. So look, that's it.
So
I've got
turn around.
Officially, no more shows left for the year. So that one went this morning, and I mean, I that's no surprise though. I didn't think that was going to go ahead, but they kind of waited as long as they could before they made the call. Whether they could cancel, because that show was booked that was going to happen in November. As far as other shows, I just don't feel confident at the moment with really playing any gigs. Right now, I know here in Australia, in certain parts of Australia, like here in Adelaide, live shows are starting again. It's limited numbers. There's still restrictions on. How many people, the venues that are, they're about at a quarter of a capacity. A venue that might normally hold 500 people for a show, they're most probably working on around 100 people they're allowing in. So it's really tough. It's really tough for the venues to survive like that. Because
that's what we're seeing here too. Everyone's kind of like, you got to look at the bars, the arenas, and all the workers within there. It's not just the owners, it's the workers too. Yeah. Eventually support runs out, if you even got it, depending on when you're independent, there's no real support from government or anything. I don't know for musicians. I mean, it's kind of a messed up thing, We just have to all keep creating and working together, I believe, right? I think that's what's beautiful about what you've done is you've gone out and reached out and worked together. And I think we have to do a lot more of that to get past that.
Yeah. And I think that's the healthy side of what's going on at the moment. That's the good side of it all. It's reconnecting with what has value, what is reconnecting with what you contribute to others, appreciating what others contribute to you. It's all those things now that really shine a light on life, what's good about life, and focusing our energy on that. And so for me, I feel very grateful that I had the opportunity to focus on really ultimately what I love the most about what gets me up early in the morning is the opportunity to create more music and connect with people and find new ways. So I think for me, the path moving forward is going to be to do more of what I'm doing at the moment, find new ways to engage and share my music with people, and just keep working on that in that direction. And there's a lot of things that none of us can second guess about where all this is all leading. But one thing we can most probably count on is the fact that we're going to find new ways to make stuff happen, and we'll look back at some point and go, you know what, this is all this good stuff is happening because we were in this situation, and it forced the hand for us to find new innovation. So I think I'm hopeful that it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I think we have to look at that because that's all we can do, really. At the end of the day, you can make your choice to be negative about it, or make the best of what we have. And I always find creativity comes out of when a door closes, you're going to create something. If you cook and you don't have this ingredient in your kitchen, that's how new recipes are formed. And some of them became hamburgers or potato chips that we didn't know about. So I'm just saying.
I have an idea. I have an idea. Can you hear me, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. So how about a rock opera? We take the musicians we've worked with around the world, and we create a rock opera, virtual rock opera.
Man, she's wanted to do this for years.
Yeah.
It'll happen. We'll do it.
Because
Well,
it'd
you
be
know,
so,
I'm your man in Australia. You know that, don't you?
Yeah,
see,
of course.
Wouldn't that be so
See,
cool?
Okay.
Are you
We'll
in?
do that.
Awesome.
All right, but we're gonna run out of time, so I want to play your song before we go, and it's called "You Make Me Feel So Good." It's off of the album, the EP Breakthrough that you recorded at Sunset Studios. I'll remember that now. It just totally blanked. All I wanted to say, it's Sunny Hollywood. That's all I wanted to say, and I'm like, no, Dino, what's the name? I'll look through my notes, but just tell me, what is it? Sunset. It's out. It's like sunshine. I'm just thinking sunshine because it's raining and stormy here.
Let
but
the sun
anyway,
shine.
yeah, really. Let the sun come out and burn out the virus. Darn it. Get it out. Get it out. But we're going to play You Make Me Feel So Good. Everybody, again, keep up with Dino at dinojag.com. Facebook, go to his Facebook page. Just type in Dino Jag and see his video, watch it, enjoy it, and be part of the support. Support musicians as best you can. There's donations. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. Purchase the music and try to do it as you directly from them if you can. But go keep up with Dino, dinojag.com. He's on Twitter, Instagram, all those places. Dino, thank you so much for calling in, for your music, and just for being the amazing human being that you are. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you when we do the rock opera. Here it is, everyone.
Yeah.
You Make Me Feel So Good.
I've never had a gal like you, a country gal with dreadlock cows who loves the way I feel so new. I count my lucky stars. Oh, you're not like the rest, there's no BS. Your looks could kill, but you're so chill. On the key of the hill, I feel so fresh. My heart is so undressed. You're like a sorceress. Gonna get on an airplane, gonna fly like a hurricane, gonna jump on a fast train, 'cause you make me feel good. You make me feel so good. When I met you, gal, I got lost in your magic spell. I said, oh, 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 what a ride. You're so super fly. I really tried not to stand, but my eyes wouldn't look as well. I said, oh, oh, oh. I said, oh, oh, oh. You make me feel so good. Oh, I got your photograph floating in my head, drinking hippie tea in your faded jeans and your colored beads and daisies in your hair. Don't change a thing. No, don't you change a thing. Gonna shout on a crowded street, gonna yell like a Cherokee, gonna tell everyone I see that you make me feel good. You make me feel so 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 good. Discovered your tattoo, making love to rhythm and blues. I said, oh, 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 make me purr like a kitty cat. You guessed my zodiac. Said we were quite a match. Did the cafe crawl, the moonlight stroll, walking barefoot under the city lights. More champagne for two, to the start of something new. I said, oh, oh, oh. I said, oh, oh. Nah, 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 now that I met you, oh, oh, what you do to me. Make me go, 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 go. Oh, yeah. I wrote a brand new song. It's my favorite tune about a country girl with